Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and since it's Women's History Month, I'm here today to talk to you about Being Erica, Season 1, Episode 1, Dr. Tom. So, Being Erica was a really good show that came back out in 2009, and it lasted for 4 seasons, and it stars that of Erin Kaplunk. And so she played, well, it's a Canadian show, a comedy drama about a woman who's down on her luck. And basically, she meets this counselor dude named Dr. Tom, and he sends her back in time. Yeah, it's a weird premise, but it's an interesting premise. It's not sci-fi, it's literally just a drama. Kind of like a coming of age type thing. Basically, she has all these regrets and he sends her in the past. And so, like, it's a very, very unique and different series. And I really like it. The first season is my all-time favorite. The worst season is probably the last. I didn't like how a lot of stuff played out in the last season. And so, with it being Canadian series, Erin Kaplunk, who plays Erica Strange, is okay. The actress is of Ukrainian descent. However, the character is Jewish, and they had to teach her how to be Jewish. And all I'm thinking is, why not just cast an actual Jewish person or change the ethnicity to that of Ukrainian? I don't understand that. I don't understand the entertainment business, man. But either way, she did a fascinating, extremely good job and everything. She's such a likable actress. I like her a lot. And so I'm not ready to do the rundown review because I need to catch my bearings and everything. So I'm just giving out the first episode, which is actually my favorite in the entire series. And so with this, Erica is a 32-year-old woman and she looks great, but she has a dead-end job. She doesn't like it. She has a great education and she always asks herself, what the world happened in her life? And this is something a lot of people can relate with. They're well educated. They don't like certain things that happen in their life. They end up in like a hole and they get stuck in there. And they literally ask themselves, why? Why did this happen? And how come it's not happening to nobody else? And how come people who are terrible people, great things happen to them? And so it's one of those shows that you really can relate with. And everybody has regrets. And I'm sure everybody would love to go back in time and change things. And so she's at work and she really hates her job. I think she answers the telephone and I don't know exactly what she did. She's like a phone operator type person, a customer service type thing. And so her boss catches her playing around on the internet. She's on a dating website and boom, she ends up getting fired. And so she has a boyfriend who's like a dentist, but he's at the point where he just doesn't want to be with her no more. When they had a date and she's all dolled up, looking great, looking amazing, he calls on her like, I'm just going to go to the gym. Like, I'm just not really feeling this and everything. Basically, she gets dumped. And so she's really down and out. And she's just kind of like, hating life, hating like her life, and just hating every scenario that comes her way and everything. So she heads to a coffee shop and somebody gives her a drink. She drinks it, but then she starts to have a panic attack. Her tongue starts to swell up, and it turns out she has a nut allergy, and it had some type of hazelnut in it. So she passes out and has to go to the hospital. While she's there in the emergency room, a man shows up and he starts talking to her. And so she assumes he's like the doctor, but he's all like, not quite. And when I'm watching this, even I thought to myself, okay, why does she think he's a doctor for? He's not dressed in a doctor outfit. But then he starts replaying things in her life, talking about, oh, I bet you think about this, you think about that. You're always thinking about stuff and always thinking how people are judging you and all the regrets and stuff you have in life. So this kind of triggers something in her mind, like, who exactly are you and how do you know this crap? So he gives her his card. And he's all like, when you're ready and everything to talk, I'll be there for you. And so he just leaves. And so the next morning, her mom's there because she spent the night at her mom's place, reminiscing in her old room and everything, right? Well, in comes the family, her younger sister, her younger sister's husband, and like her aunt and uncle. And her sister's boyfriend is a complete jerk. I mean, a jerk. He's all, because she doesn't want to tell nobody she lost her job. Oh, also, she spoke with her friend Judith and everything. Her friend Judith pretty much has everything in order. She's married, she has kids and stuff like that. And so, like, her and Judith are very, very close. And so when she's at her mom's place for like brunch and everything, like I said, Josh, her sister Sam's boyfriend, husband, is just being a complete jerk. And she has to reveal that she's no longer dating the dentist, and she makes an excuse as to why she doesn't want to date him no more. And so basically talking about she doesn't have a job no more, and he's all like, how can you quit your job and not have nothing like, to plan ahead and blah, 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 and nothing to fall back on, blah, 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 blah. And so everybody is just getting on her nerves to where she feels suffocated. She cannot breathe. So she runs up to her room. She locks the door. She puts on her shoe because she's in her PJs. She grabs her robe and she sneaks out the window and hightails it. I could not believe she had a full on panic attack and stuff. And it's just funny. She just bolted out the window. And so as she's just like, in town, she's just contemplating things. But then she sees like, some homeless dude playing like a guitar. She goes to give him money, but realizes, oh wait, I don't have any money. And that has to be really crappy, dude. Like, she literally puts her hand in her pocket, about to give him some, and she ain't got none. But then she pulls out Dr. Tom's card, and it has, like, an address on it. And then, wouldn't you know it, she looks up, and somehow she's there at that address. But the place is like a little coffee shop looking thing. And so she's weirded out, but she goes in, and it's an immaculate looking place. The secretary is like, he's in between patients and he can see her and stuff. So she goes up there and she just lets it all out and everything. Starts talking to him. He's listening to her, but he's very cavalier. He's really like, I don't know, like he has like this quirk to him, this charismatic, like, sarcasticness and stuff like that. And basically just like, what, just write down all your regrets. And she's like, now? And he's like, yeah. So she writes down everything. And she has a lot of regrets. And the last one is Leo died. Leo is her brother. He's played by this one dude who was in the 100 on the CW. And so he's looking at the list and he picks one and he asks her, tell me about this day. But she really doesn't want to talk about it. And when she's talking about it, she's breaking down about the cry. It was a very embarrassing night for her. It was prom, and her and her three friends got extremely drunk, Katie and Jenny and stuff. But she was the worst of them all. And so when she's drunk on the dance floor, she's spinning around, she's dancing from guy to guy, slurring her speech and throwing up all on the dance floor. It was one of the most embarrassing nights of her life. And it caused, like, her and her boyfriend Noah to like break up, and she regretted it because she always wanted to be with Noah and all this other stuff. And, like, it was just like a terrible time. And so then all of a sudden it starts to get cold in the room. And all of a sudden, boom, she's back in like the 70s or 80s. I'm not sure what decade it was. And she's freaking out. Her hair's changed and everything. Now, when she times travel, no matter how old she is, she always looks the same. Except for one episode. One episode during a bar mitzvah and stuff, they actually had an actual 11-year-old girl for some reason instead of her playing herself. And so now she's back at 16 years old. And she's just a freaking out and everything, right? And she's not sure what's going on. And she goes to like school and she is literally just like, well, she already is at school. And so when she's at school, she's just literally freaking out. She had no idea she time traveled. She has no idea who this Dr. Tom dude is and how he was able to do this. And so she's running in and out and she's just kind of like, what is going on, man? And so like at some point she finds Dr. Tom when she goes to get a coffee at like the hot dog stand. And so he always appears as like random people. And she's all like, did you hypnotize me? He's all like, no, you're just like back in time and everything. You said you had these regrets and, and you're here to relive this moment and stuff. So we can move forward in time and stuff. And he doesn't explain how this works. And so she starts asking questions about like, if she changes the past, like Back to the Future, well, it causes the future events to like change and all this other stuff and all this other crap. So he gives her some advice about something about like, when I think something like, I can't remember exactly what it is, but something like when everything's right and I guess she thinks she'll move forward back in time or something like that. And so she's just kind of like, you know what? Might as well, like, give it the old college try. So she's all like, what does it matter? She's like, I get to make out with Noah and all this other stuff. So when she's home and she's getting ready for prom and everything, she finds some kind of electrical razor device that she uses for her legs. And so she's shaving her legs. And since she really wants some that night, because she never, ever, ever got the clickety clack with Noah, and she always wanted to. And so as she's shaving her legs, she looks down between her legs and she sees some hair. So she's kind of like, well, might as well shave that too. But the electronic device kind of gets stuck on her hairs. So when young Josh, who's Sam's boyfriend, is walking like through the hallway, he hears this weird moaning noise and he looks through and it looks like you can hear the buzzing and it looks like she's using the vibrators. Because she's making some weird moaning noises and stuff. And so she rips it out. And he gets freaked out and runs off. Oh boy. So now that she's at prom, she's gonna make sure she don't get drunk. But she's horny like I don't know what. So while in the car, she jumps the bones of Noah, constantly making out with him, touching him, everything else, but he's freaking out. And even though he has a condom, he doesn't want none. He is just scared for some reason. She's getting pissed. She's all like, dude, like just pretend like 16 years from now or something like that. Like, I regret never doing you and this is my first time and blah, blah, blah. And this is supposed to be the best time of my life. But he is literally just saying no. He's young. He's not ready. And he just doesn't want to for whatever reason and stuff. So she's very pissed and she goes inside. When she goes inside, she talks to Jenny. And Jenny's all like, Josh said he saw you playing with a vibrator and stuff like that. Noah overhears this and now all of a sudden he's pissed and wanting to fight like Josh and everything. Talk about you saw my girlfriend naked and blah 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 stuff like that. And so she has to literally get between those two because he's gonna pound that dude's face in. And it's like she doesn't understand something. Like he doesn't want to give it up, but yet he gets jealous when he thinks another dude saw her naked and stuff. And so she's not enjoying her little time travel thing. She goes outside, she finds Dr. Tom. He gives her a weird speech again and stuff like that. And basically, she's just not happy, but she's gonna make sure she don't get drunk. Well, her two friends get drunk, Katie and Jenny. And Katie gets so drunk that she throws up on the dress of Erica. And so Jenny is trying to help her, holding her hair back while they're in like the stall, while Erica's trying to clean herself up. But she realizes, you know what, I have some more gym clothes. So she takes the dress off, completely naked underneath. Oh, at least she has her underwear on, but she doesn't have like, no top and no bra, nothing like that. So she tells Jenny, go to my locker and get my clothes. And so Jenny leaves, but then Katie starts to choke on her vomit. Now, before this happened, and Katie didn't get none, and she's all like, all right, Dr. Tom, I'm ready to go back to the future because, I'm not drinking this and that. And he's all like, you're where you need to be. And when you're done doing what you need to do, then you can go back to the future and stuff. And where does she need to be exactly? Well, I'm assuming, this part's a little confusing. Since Katie is choking on her vomit, she has to help her, but she don't know what to do because she don't know any medical techniques. So topless and everything, she can't just run out. So she gets some toilet paper, wraps it around her boobs, and run out to the dance floor. Everybody can see her. She is beyond embarrassed. Beyond embarrassed. Noah is pissed and thinks she's a little skank and want nothing to do with her. Her teacher is giving her all kind of advice and stuff like that. And she literally tells her teacher when he's trying to console her, she's like, look, I'm a time traveler. And everything like that. And he's just kind of looking at her. So anyways, she literally, he gives her some advice and she really realizes that she didn't care what people thought about her. And then she goes back to like the future. And so in the future, I don't really know if time has changed, to tell you the truth. Because sometimes it does for her and sometimes it doesn't in this series. And so while she's there, her parents are there and they said she's been like asleep for an hour and they found her in her pajamas and then his boyfriend came. And they're all about to get lunch, but then she decides she's gonna break up with him because she don't want him no more. So I guess time did change a little bit to where he didn't break up with her. And she feels better because she realized she doesn't need him and stuff. So then she goes to talk to Dr. Tom, but he's not in his office because now it's back to being like a little coffee shop. And his place changes all the time. And so they have an argument and everything, but he literally told her, like, you going back in time literally helped you out because now you no longer care what other people think about you and stuff. And before I met you, all you ever did was care about what folks think about you and stuff. He's all like, you ran out there topless to help your friend in her time of need, and you didn't care that people was gonna look and stuff like that. And this really did help her and everything. Even though she was more embarrassed than what she was before, it caused her to not really dwell on what others think, because other people's opinion of you really do not matter in life. And so he tells her, I'll see you the next day, because they have to see each other every day because he's now her counselor. So it makes for a very fascinating and unique premise of like a show and stuff. And that's what really intrigued me when I watched this show. Plus, the main actress, like I said, is so likable and everything. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.